In this video, I would talk in more extensively on distorted feminine, who is also a black widow. She is also a spiritual assassin. There is no need for any separate labeling, but that's how they call it in the dark spiritual communities. They like labels. They want to feel important, right? So these black widows are literal witches who come into man's life only for the reason of destroying them. And it's not just destroying them. Their goal is to ultimately kill them for the benefit of it. And I've seen so many females within this lifetime who are black widows and who just get a lot of sympathy from other people for being very old and widowed and single for such a long time and struggling to make life, bring up families on their own because their husbands has some alcoholism, or they lost their mind, or they suddenly died in an accident, or they just left them, and or they just died out of nowhere, out of sudden illness and all that. And such a honorable thing to bring up family on their own like that. Yeah, I'll tell you the story behind that. These women literally were part of cults who came into these men's lives with an agenda. Just like I mentioned yesterday, it's a contractual thing. And they were tired of them, sick of them, whatever reason. They would rather get rid of them, and they wanted that feeling. Both sympathy, you see the double whammy there. One, sympathy from everybody for, such an honorable, such a pity state to be widowed and taking care of everything on your own. And you're not even educated. Most of the women I knew, okay, they were as old as 90 plus also. Yeah. That's how I know this has been happening for a couple of centuries. Because these women literally agreed for their husbands to be dead so they can gain. Okay, they were the sacrifice, they could gain. They not only get the sympathy, the double whammy, they not only get the money which is kept secret and all the other benefits and that, they wanted to feel important. They wanted to feel important and honorable, that they are carrying all the burdens, all the load, and they are doing everything on their own, and they still brought their children to be in such important, respectable positions in their lives. They literally had to do small, petty jobs to bring up entire families. Double whammy. The power and control and feeling important, and sympathy. And the secret benefits, money, insurance and other benefits they got by being part of the cults. Because they don't just sit there and enjoy the benefits, right? They are continually ruining other people's lives also. But in order for people to not see them for who they truly are, they have to get that sympathy and the extra, like the disabled people and other people get, that extra attention and extra slack cut upon them for being such an honorable mother. Some do it literally for that sense of importance thing. And I witnessed it on another level, even very, very recently. So when I was in the midst of all these things that are going on in my life, as I started noticing what's going on around me also, I literally watched a 25, barely even 25-year-old girl, woman, whatever you want to call it, witch, find her way into my life because that was her assignment. While I was in part of the research institute that I was in, and she found a way to befriend me, so she has to be staying next to my room and all that. This bitch sacrificed her own father. This was in the middle of the 2020 fake crisis created. This was in 2021, very beginning stages of 2021. Sacrificed her father, cried like crazy for sympathy. Oh, I lost my father for COVID. He was in emergency. Nobody is even allowing to see him. I am here and he is there. She stays in a very far away city and all that. Oh, the drama, the theatrics. You see the love of attention and sympathy. She sacrificed him. She's barely 25. If you are doing that at age 25, you probably did a lot of that kind of shit already in your life since childhood. That's why I don't have any sympathy, even if they try to present a child or an old person trying to manipulate psychologically and say, oh, these are just old people, these are just sick people, these are disabled people, these are children. No. There are children who compromise their own conscience. Children, yeah. That's why not every child is pure. Who agreed when something was presented in front of them and they were coached and tutored to say or do certain things. Okay, go to a certain person and do these things when they were orchestrating certain incidents, and they readily accepted. Is it a mother? Is it a father? Is it grandparent? Is it somebody who said it? Is it a teacher who said it? Doesn't matter. You think I did not get that kind of manipulative shit around me since I was a child? You think I accepted it? So there is no excuse for anything. No. That's why you're born with the built-in conscience, the compass, the moral compass. It's there. If you have a soul, you have it there. You compromise it, you're losing it. That's on you. And irrespective of what your age is. So this bitch did that and got the attention, sympathy and all that. And all that. You know, this is even worse. That power, the power they promise you in these cards, you know, and you're so compromised you agree to shit like this. She did 3 nasty things just in that one sacrifice to benefit. Sneaking into my life was itself over for her. But I'm talking about the Black Widow nature. With that one sacrifice, I'll tell you what she got in the sense of the power and sense of control and importance. At the same time, sympathy, you see. And she got a lot of benefits through the cult, which she's going to hide. She's going to pretend and hide. But her life is going to be on the roads for eternity, on the streets. Thing is, with that one sacrifice, she sacrificed her father, the head of the family, probably a decent man who is trying his best to take care of everybody. 2, she made her mother a widow by choice, took him out of this world before his life was fully lived. 3, you know when this happened? This was when her brother, who was much younger, was having his final examinations, probably degree, a graduate degree examination, final ones. Literally two or few left. So that would have affected that, or probably he did not even take those exams because she was very confident that she would not take those exams because that's what she wanted. And she felt important, powerful, strong, and rich by doing this. This is exactly what a demented, distorted woman, a Black Widow, would do. And these women, these older women I'm talking about, they all sacrifice their husbands. I know it. They are not even meant to live that long, 90 plus and 95 plus. And most of them still look very shiny and all that on the outside. Because that's what they got as a sacrifice in return. Among all the benefits, it's that vitality and beauty. They wanted everybody to look up to them, feel important, powerful, control. They don't think twice about sacrificing their husbands, be free, do their own shit, get this. They don't have to ever work in their life. Their work itself is to again do this thing, find another person, give them up for sacrifice, give them up for gang stalking assignments and everything. Like they pick people. That's why the whole societies have become cults. It's no longer separate. For more than 100 years. So they were there to pick and choose and give information. They're all doing assignments. They're all under contracts. They go and give information. I think this particular way, because they give them specifics as to what kind of person to look for. And when they find them in certain families or localities or neighborhoods and anywhere, they give information and then they put in, they do whatever they want to do. They get into their lives and all the operations begin until they take everything from that person. A person of value, which they never have and never will. And they walk around with their old fragile bodies and white hairs and frail skins, pretending to be the godmothers of the whole families, matriarchs, important. And all their children are living certain lives, and they will tell everybody that it is their hard work that put them there, and blah 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 blah. And they have to make up stories in order to play on that sympathy again and again and again. So they will keep on bringing up their husbands into the conversations once in a while. Oh, what a devoted big person. She still thinks about him after 60 years. Yeah, she killed him when she was somewhere in the 20s and she is now 90s. What do you say? And they play a major part in using that old child or other kind of personas and profiles as a cover to enter into certain people's lives, neighborhoods and families, and play a part in orchestrating devastations in other people's lives and feeling powerful in doing so. Specific roles and contracts given to them, and they play it out very well. It's just that is why there are industries like entertainment and all entertainment, not just singers and acting and all movies and all that. Because what these people do is also the same thing. Everybody is going by the script. Everybody is acting and pretending, playing a role, and being paid for it. Just that they did so much high-level compromising shit that they are there playing the dolls, male, female, children, whoever it is. Well, these people are doing the downer level work. Like at every level they need workers, right? So the ones who are sitting on the top doing the most cruelest things can sit and say, oh, I have more knowledge, so I have more power over you. Oh, what are you using this knowledge for? I know exactly what you're doing this for. Yeah, sure. And the Black Widows do exactly that. It's not a new phenomenon. The new one was all, like I said, playing on their emotions, because you have to be a good woman to play on emotions. You are not willingly becoming a Black Widow. You were made sacrifice, or at least you were put in certain situations so that you would become sacrifice. But the Black Widows, they willingly become that, who sacrifice their own husbands, partners, lovers, brothers, sisters, people in their own, people who are closest to them, people who trust them, people who would never suspect this from them, and go and do this betrayal, sacrifice them. I watched a few types of Black Widows like this, who did black magic behind the scenes, parts of cults, who are literally watched or orchestrated their children get killed or burnt in fire accidents. and freak accidents would happen. But miraculously, the wife escapes with a scratch or nothing, yeah, not even a scratch, not even a trauma of some kind. And the husband is brutally killed. And one would think these are miracles of God. Oh, she must be such a powerful or important person that she got out alive, but the husband is ruined, he's pulp. In the same accident, she is in the same car. No, no, honey, it's the devil. They have the deals with the devils. Yeah. And this is also an assignment basis. You do this and this and this. I'll make sure the husband gets it. And then you get this benefits. And then you can cover up by doing this. Oh, why? I like it. Okay, come on, guy. These are the ones who actively chose to be those people. All the while I've talked about people, females, who were becoming sacrifices. Males, females. I also mentioned about the distorted masculine thoroughly because they were the ones who started all this cult shit. I already told you how this trend began. So I'm talking about the women who willingly choose to do this for money, benefits, power, that sense of importance. I sit on the top now. People look up to me. They don't even know the kind of things I've done because I play on the sympathy role. I put on a show very well. Children, their own children killed, orchestrating events, getting burnt in a fire accident. Yeah, houses getting burnt, their own husbands either losing parts and losing something in their life and become disabled, or literally losing lives. And they are sitting here, they're old, and the theory here they claim is during the older days, the men used to marry much younger women because women get wisdom so easily and fastly. So we make them get married very early as possible. So the men were at least 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years older to them. Sex slavery, pedophilia. Haha. It was never new. It was just put in a different old wine in a new bottle sort of thing. It was just a different narrative. It was just put on, presented in a different way to different cultures and different countries. It was always there in a different way, that's it. And so, the women survived for that longer, while the men just kept on dying. Heart attacks, they had alcoholic issues, their mind went shit, they had a freak accident, and they just one day randomly they were fine, but one day out of nowhere they just died in their sleep. Or they caught on a sudden illness which took them away in less than 6 months, 3 months, less than a year, depending on whatever sympathy factor they want to play on. Some were like, get this shit done, let's get it immediate. Like, who the fuck wants to pretend and take on the role of, oh, I'm the caretaker, I'm the noble caretaker. The ones who is looking for more that kind of pretense would be like, okay, I'll pretend for 6 more months for more weight of sympathy and all that. So we'll drag on and I'll pretend like the caretaker who is taking on such responsible role even while he was on the deathbed, cleaning the diapers, taking to hospitals, taking care of stuff, being such a strong woman in the midst of crisis like that, with children to take on, their educations to take care of. Yeah, that's what they want. The thing is, you could easily do the same thing in the light side also, by being on the good side also. If really challenges come, you really go through and do the right thing and go there, and you don't even have to act. But no, that takes work, like real work. This is script, this is just pretense. With little work I get more attention, more authority, feeling of authority and power, and I get benefits, I get financial benefits, I get to live a luxurious life for the rest of my life. They promised me that, I asked for it. I am secure for the rest of my life. And then I will offer up another sacrifice so that I'm gonna be safe for the rest of my life. Maybe one of my children, maybe my nephew, maybe my niece, maybe my neighbor, maybe someone I know. Someone who's stupid enough to think I'm a good lady. And then I'll keep on living. Ha ha ha. And then they will keep on thinking I'm the strong woman that really went through shit. All the while she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew when exactly he's going to be killed and how and where and when. Oh my goodness. And sometimes their own children are also involved. Yeah. So they all come together and put on a grand show. I've seen this kind of families too. It's not just the Black Widow. The Black Widow's friends, relatives, children, or their parents, okay, someone close to them, will also join on the show. Because they need to, pump up the effect. Effect should be a little more, just in case. They act because they would rather just pretend and because they want to ruin further lives. They really don't have it in them to go through the real trials and tribulations of life and grow from it. They refused to. They made that commitment to be the cheap as low as murderers and frauds, and they would rather act and pretend. And whenever you go with them, they're always busy telling about the trials and tribulations they went through in their lives, and they're told all the stories are about how hard their life was and how they pushed through it, and this and that and that. And the difference between them is, a real person, like I mentioned in a few videos earlier. You took the path, you went through the journey, you had the grit to finish it, and then you come out of it better, stronger, wiser. The vibe is totally different. And then you try to cheat at the finish line and put on a show. You put on a makeup, you put on a dress, you put on a perfect script, they're literally being your earpiece, telling you exactly what to say at that moment in your, in your chips and in your inner pieces. This is what mind control means. And they're very happy doing it because they feel important. And they tell exactly what to say, and they speak the words. They tell the story. They keep on doing what they were literally being prompted electronically to do. And they feel important by keep on doing so. That's the difference. There's a whole lot of different vibe to someone who truly went through it, to someone who is fucking trying so hard to pretend that I am that person. Like, get over it already. If you really went through it, there's gonna be different vibe to it. Even when you tell your stories, it's gonna be because they're gonna be relevant in some way. They are giving some wisdom. They are something productive or uplifting. It's not like because they are begging and fishing for sympathy or compliments for their strength there. That's why they have to keep on telling these stories. Because that's the whole reason they literally sacrifice their own children and husband right in front of their own eyes, right? For how come you don't acknowledge it? I'm so desperate I did all these things and you don't even acknowledge the bullshit I'm telling you. I keep on speaking it for hours together and you don't give me the attention I want. The sympathy, the glorified, the look, oh strong, how much you went through. You are not saying any of it because the shit is visible. Because I see through it. Because I see through it. That's why. Because it's nothing appreciative of anything. That's why I'm not giving it. Because you are not worth it. Because I know how fake you are. But they fish for it. They fish for it. They fish for it. You watch out. They fish for it. Because that's the whole point of their existence. That's the attention they wanted so desperately. They would rather sacrifice somebody else for the sake of it. Desperately looking for that attention. Sympathy. Oh, you did it so well. Accolades. You're so strong. Oh, you put through with that. Which I see through it. That's why I don't give it to you. Because I know. I know better than that. And you don't deserve it. You're not even worth it. That's why. Let alone any attention. Negative attention. This is what they do it for. And I watched I watched this 25-year-old lass which do it right in front of my own eyes. I've seen so many women do it. Seen so many kids do whatever their parents told them and literally tried to come in front of me to do something very cheap. And I had to warn them, what are you doing? I had to call out. I had to call out to less than 5, 6, 7, 8 year old, less than 7 year old child coming to me, behaving a certain way with their bodies, with their whatever space I was in. They were trying to do something there and I could catch on. And I would call it out as to, hey, what are you doing? I won't entertain this. And if you behave like this, I'm not going to entertain your company ever again. I'm here to play with you. I'm doing very, very innocent child things with you. Paint with you, play with you, walk with you, talk with you, laugh with you. Okay? And I'm being that. And you came here because somebody put you in this place as a part of an assignment. So you could trap me into something that I am not doing. I see it. I called it out. I prevented that from happening a lot of times. Because they wanted to frame me as something deranged with kids. Wow, yeah, they do it. Because if it is someone choosing actively, it's a different scenario. They love it, they're okay with it. But if it is an innocent person, they have to compromise them to do it or frame them and put in an illusion, create a scenario and then create a false narrative. I would not do anything, but just put enough show on and then build up enough narrative and then the black magic and all other lies and gang stacking and bullshit and then create a huge story and illusion around it to make it look like it's real in any way, shape or form. Even brainwash and hypnotize and put the thoughts, it's all mind control anyway, so they have a chip in there anyway. So make the child a witness, a false witness. Nobody would believe that a child would lie. God, the kind of lengths these people go to put on a show and frame innocent people. I had to call out. I had to see the behavior and observe it and call it out. And after two warnings, multiple means not too many. I'm not going to tolerate that shit. One is enough for me. One incident is enough for me. Two is like a double confirmation. Okay. And I blocked the shit out of whoever it is, everybody involved there. If a 6-year-old child is doing that, I know exactly what's happening behind and who is behind and what's happening. I'm not stupid. They would love to believe it. I have no problem. So I cut the shit out of everything and everybody that's part of it. I could see through it. And I stopped. Like, who the fuck are you? What do you think? You want to do shit like that? Go do somewhere. You enjoy it too much? You're doing it at this age? Oh, you're going to become a very successful Black Widow. Congratulations. You're probably been very groomed very well. If this is what you're doing at the age of 5 or 6, congratulations. Yeah, I know. They can put so much mind control, black magic on you, but nothing can ever overcome your heart and purity and conscience. That is why God was willingly letting them play all these games for this long, because He wanted to filter out, despite whatever excuses and external factors and bullshit happening, their heart and conscience were fully alive and active because they are connected with God, the source. That they would never allow themselves to be in that position, or they would never allow anybody to put themselves in this position, and they would never cross that conscience ever. You are a child. You don't. That's what I'm saying. You think I didn't get that kind of bullshit offers around me, even when I was a child, to try to tell me, hey, it's okay. This is how society is. I could groom you to be a certain person. I could groom you to walk all over everybody. I could groom you to lie and cheat. Yeah. And every single time. No. And how did I do it? And I didn't even have of a healthy adult figure in my life to look up to, a good example. How did I do it then? Huh? So this is what happens with black widows and preparation of black widows in the making at a child level. And they do it very happily. So it's not about what kind of artificial things were put on you. You still have the heart, you have the conscience. Are you using it? It all comes down to that. And everything is about feeling important, powerful, sympathy, to feel like you're strong. You went through so much stuff, but you didn't do anything. You didn't go through anything. You literally sacrificed somebody to get that attention. And what does that tell about you? Maybe that's what we should be looking at. Not the attention that you're trying to fish from others. That's what they do. Watch out. Watch out for these kind of people, because they do it and they do it a lot. It's pretty common. Like I said, the justification is, oh, they married early and the husband was very older and he just got passed away. She's alive because she was younger and she's healthy. Let's talk about where you got all that health and vitality and stability and security in your life from for a minute, huh? Maybe the focus should be there, not on your stories. You can keep your stories and show it up wherever you want. Let's talk about facts. Yeah, the contracts, the illegal dealings, the secret insurance hush monies. Maybe we should talk about that. Shut your mouth with the stories. Let's look at the facts. Let's all do that. There's so many out there who are doing that. So let's look at that.